Hi everyone, Janice here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a video about Christmas cookies and how we keep family recipes. So I'm just going to show you a box I bought off of an Etsy seller. This one is a vintage trunk by the Paper Craftery, and I'll put links below. And I'll show you how cute is this. It's all steampunk. Look at the detail on this with all the different dials and the recipes. It's really a beautiful, look at this. Look at the corners, how well finished. Look at how well this is done. And you know, just really nice. Look at the side. And I'll show you the back. Again, more of the steampunk look going on, very consistent in that. So when I got this, I was like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to share with you family secrets today. And I'm going to open her up. Ready? Okay. Okay. All right, so there's a lot crammed in here. So first, just to give credit to the artist, this came with the box and it's tabs for appetizers, spreads, as you can see. And I'm not using it that way because I just have too much I crammed in here. So I'm not going to bore you and go through everything in here, but it's been really a fun place to store my grandmother and my dad's recipes. So why I say it's the secret recipes, when my dad passed, I found a safe deposit box. And no, there was no money, but there was something very valuable to Italians, and that is recipes. Now, I joke about this in another video. Unfortunately for me, if you can see, there's no measurements or anything like an ingredient list. So, you know, this half a pound, 40 ounce, this was from my dad's restaurant. So, you know, you get the idea. The volume is very large volume on some of them. But what I love about it is my dad's handwriting. So these are very precious to me, and I keep them in here. And I have tried some of the recipes, but nothing tastes like my dad or my grandmother's. So this is a prized possession. I am obsessed with strufoli or pina colada. You'll see that in a minute in my other recipe book. I collect struffola honey balls is really what it is. It's an Italian favorite, and they make it only during the season. They actually stop in March at St. Joseph's Day is the tradition, which I think is a terrible tradition. I think we should have struffola year-round. And by the way, I always say this is the hardest 5-ingredient recipe on the planet, so I'll get into that in a minute when I show you the other book. Very misleading recipe. It looks like it'll be easy with the ingredients list, and it's not easy. And then I have some, you know, different recipes from my grandmother. I'm sure we all have handwritten index cards. You know, my grandparents survived the Depression, so they kept paper, scraps, and they wrote on everything. Like these are just scrap paper. Everything was saved, and I just find this very precious. So I really love how this looks like a precious keepsake, and I just love it. So I wanted to share that with you. Now, the truth is my recipes with my dad are stored in a binder. So I'm going to try to show, look, with stuff falling out. This is just the truth of what it is. But I do want to share with you some recipes, and I hope I won't cry during the video because it is very sentimental and it is Christmas time. And here we go. So first off, what I came across that I saved, my dad and I would do an open house, and we had all sorts of traditions of what we would make. And we, you know, there's just lists and lists of ingredients. And one thing we did was a cookie tray for everybody. And this one says, may our holiday tradition of baking sweets sweeten your disposition and fill you with holiday spirit and good cheer. Happy holidays. And we would give this to pretty much everybody. And you can see the list of cookies. It was a lot. And the list of ingredients and how many batches we would make was a lot as well. Lots of handwritten recipes, Nana fig cakes. I'm just going to share with you a couple of really interesting ones that, you know, I'll recommend as Christmas cookies. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying to get that a little out of your way. And then it gets dark. Okay. So biscotti is an Italian favorite, means bake twice. And there was a lady that worked for my boss that would make these every weekend and bring them in. I personally preferred her orange cranberry with the white chocolate on top. Delicious. Thank you, Nancy, if you're watching. Magic cookie bars is a favorite. very easy to make. You can get these recipes anywhere, or you can screenshot them. The other one is, nutcracker sweets. We actually printed these out to give away because people are always asking us what they were, and it's those club crackers that you line, and then it's like a praline basically is what you're making. Crumb cake, New York crumb cake. Oh wow, this stuff is delicious, and it starts with yellow cake mix, recommend. Regatta cake, now this one is fascinating because it's really a self-icing cake. You'll see them on the internet like that. But basically what you do is you put the regatta sugar vanilla eggs on top of a box cake, and when it bakes, this regatta layer goes to the bottom, and it basically iced the cake, but it's at the bottom. It's delicious. I highly recommend regatta cake. And then somebody thought we were crazy making all the cookies that we made. So they gave us something where you have like one recipe and you make 4 kinds of cookies. We never made this. As you can see, it really didn't get a lot of love. We really, when we made cookies, we did it the right way, which brings me to ingredients. Okay, so use the best ingredients you can find. This is an example. You always want unsalted butter, and I picked up Kerrygold Irish butter from my grocery store, and I'm not baking a lot this year. I don't really bake cookies anymore because it's too sad. So anyway, this is made with milk from grass-fed cows, not treated with growth hormones. And there really is a difference. One year, my dad sent me back to the store many times because he wasn't satisfied with the ingredients I picked. And I didn't understand it then, but I appreciate it now. And anyway, I did a taste testing of butters, and as crazy as that sounds, you want the best butter you can find. That's where good baking starts. Okay, I'm just gonna flip through and make a couple recommendations. And I'm sure you all have Christmas cookie traditions of your own in your own family. So here's just a couple of mine. Nana's ravioli cookies and the regatta cake. As you can see, struffola and pina colada are the same thing. And I'm not kidding when I say there's only a few ingredients, but it's really hard to make that because you have to fry the dough and then put it in honey and then scoop it into little cupcake holders and then put sprinkles on top. It's a process. This was key lime pie. Not so much a Christmas tradition, but really so easy, we'd make any time. Magic cookie bar, I think I mentioned that earlier. Cannolis. So, cannolis might sound like, who makes cannolis? Well, you can buy shells, and then you can make the regatta stuffing, the inside. And the important thing here is to drain the regatta and get some of that water and liquid out, and then put in the confectionery sugar, and then grate some orange peel, and put some vanilla, really good vanilla too. So, and then chocolate chips on the outside. So more, the candied cherries, that's popular at this time of year. More cannoli stuff. Let's see. Chocolate chips, you gotta have chocolate chips. This is for somebody, like if you don't wanna bake, Ritz cracker, peanut butter tag-alongs. It tastes like the Girl Scout cookie tag-along cookies, where you just put 2 Ritz crackers together with peanut butter and then, dip them in chocolate. Delicious, as weird as it sounds, it's delicious. Sugar cookies, I must have liked that recipe. Let me kind of get more pina colada. I'm not kidding, I collect pina colada recipes, so if you have a good one. The only thing about this is that it starts with like some kind of, I don't know how they did it. This was a little different. And then my uncle's pina colada is really what I grew up with. Grandma Rose had a way of, like, you make a well with the flour and then you put the egg, but she never had really exact measurements. It was just sort of, you make a well with the flour and you put the eggs and you kind of mix it until it was a good consistency in her mind, and then you would roll them out in logs, cut them up, fry them, and then you'd have to fry them in honey. Now the thing that's interesting about Grandma Rose's recipe and my Uncle Joe's recipe is that when you fry the honey, because of the temperature of the honey, it becomes candy, like they're hard. When you buy pina colada and struffola in the store, I find it to be a little soggy. I don't like it. I can't really eat store-bought cookies anymore. I'm kind of picky. But anyway, that's the tip of good pina colada, is get yourself a candy thermometer and really get the honey to a good, warm temperature. And, don't forget to toast the almonds, and it comes out great. Get more pina colada. And Jeanette's, another very popular Italian cookie. And, if you want to screenshot these as I go, feel free. Some of them we got from magazines, Secret Kiss cookies, where you put a little candy kiss in the middle. Peanut butter cookies, kind of the same idea. Lemon bars. These were in an index box, and I just photocopied to put in here. More of the same, I think. And Rocky Road fudge. We did do some fudge. Walnut balls was really the favorite. This is like, you could see this is a well-loved, it is literally covered in dough. Very yellow. This is like the best recipe. The trick of this is to be really good about creaming the butter and the vanilla and everything together until it's really fluffy. And these cookies are like air, like they're so delicious. One of my favorites by far. Again, I don't really get these too often anymore because my dad would make that one. So I'm getting a little emotional. We're gonna wrap up this video. And then of course, like lemon cookies. And the trick of this one, it's made with yellow cornmeal. And it's got a nice texture on top of the sugar, so it's got some crunch to it, which is really good. A lot of bar cookies, they shipped well, so sometimes we would send cookies to places and ship them out. And oh, and pistachio brittle, yeah. So we would try all sorts of different things, but mostly Italian cookies were really everyone's favorites. My last tip is I used to take the chocolate chip cookie dough store-bought and just put them in a mini muffin tin, bake it out, and put frozen Reese's peanut butter cups in the middle, let it melt, and kind of bake it just to kind of solidify it. And that would come out really well. So if you have no time and you want to do a 2-ingredient 15-minute recipe, there you go. I hope that helped you in some way, and I hope it was a trip down memory lane of your own family traditional cookies. Thank you for watching today. Merry Christmas. Ciao for now.